Hi guys, welcome to AdamMcKola TV. Apologies about the delays. I've been doing stuff for Full-Time Devils. I've been very busy with those guys. But I am now in the car. I have now finished my match day routine. And I still haven't got over the disappointment because that was quite frankly absolutely awful by Manchester United. And you know what? I'm not going to lie, the first half was pretty good. At half-time I was feeling, you know what? United can win here today. But then it just all fell apart and fell apart so badly. Oh, it was Spurs 3, United 0 in the end. Now, I've got to say, it felt like, remember Moyes' last days? That City defeat, that Liverpool defeat. That is really how it was feeling out there today, especially in that second half. Now, the fans were still kind of, the ones that stayed in the ground were still behind the manager and still singing his name and still trying to get something going, but a lot of fans had already left. A lot of fans have already left. Now, like Full TV says, it was a good first half. So what the hell happened in the second half for it to go down like that? What the hell happened in the second half for it to go down like that? I just don't get it. It was awful. It was awful. It was so awful. And the players have to take the blame. The managers have to take the blame. Everyone has to take the blame. But is this a result of our summer? Is this a result of our manager realising that the board aren't backing him? What is this a result of? Or is it just another bad day at the office? I really don't know. It's all feeling negative at Manchester United at the moment. We've had Jose Mourinho sticking his chest out in the press conference today and coming out all guns blazing. But will the board stick with him? And are the players sticking with him? Those are big questions at this moment in time. Holman says Herrera was world class in the first half. I'm not sure about world class, but Herrera was very good in the first half in that third centre-back position. He looked more comfortable than Smalling and Jones in that area, which was pretty surprising. Lukaku had such a sitter in the first half. Maybe later on in the season he takes it, but we ain't got no time for that. We need you to be taking those chances now. And he missed it. He could have probably walked the ball into the net. That wasn't good enough. And it was just a sad day. I mean, Bailly, Martial and Pereira were dropped from the game against Brighton. Nothing changed though in terms of result. I'm here with Dean, by the way, as well. Dean is in the house. You may have seen him already on Straight Up with myself. So we're here. Get your questions in for the last couple of minutes before we hit the road and start making our way home. Let us know your thoughts. I thought Luke Shaw was my man of the match. Luke Shaw was very good today. Do you agree, Dean? That was probably the only positive, isn't it, Luke Shaw?
Yeah,
and Fred in the first half.
He was good, but at the same time, you're part of a back four that just conceded 3 goals. So as good as he was in comparison to probably other players, you're still part of the defence that conceded 3 goals. It wasn't necessarily his fault, but I don't think there's any man in the match to be honest. I think Luke Shaw was probably the best player out of our whole team, but I think Lucas Moura was the best player on the pitch, to be honest.
Lucas Moura got 2 goals today, wasn't it? Harry Kane with the other one.
Probably should have had a hat-trick as well.
Harry Kane's first goal. How free was he?
That's what I'm saying. It's a difference, isn't it? Like I've seen in the comments, like someone say, you see, like Lukaku's average. Someone said in the comments, and it's like Kane gets 1 chance and scores. Lukaku rounds goalkeeper, you have to score. Last week against Brighton, I think it's 12 minutes in, he has a chance. If you bury that's a different game. If you don't score, it's a different game. Against Leicester, he came on in the last 15 minutes, whatever. Should score. Kasper Schmeichel makes a good save. He's like, not to say it's all Lukaku's fault, but you need to give the manager a break, and like just if you bury that first chance in the first half, it's a different game. I think obviously the fact that we went in half time 0-0, they grew in confidence. They come out of the traps a lot quicker in the second half, and they just punished us. Like their chances just punish man, like put man to the sword. Kane, he didn't have a sniff all game, but if you get him 1 chance in 90 minutes and just burying like that, you know what I'm saying? That's why you get him. That's why you probably you're probably the best centre forward in the league, you know what I'm saying?
Kyle says that Lukaku had 3 great chances today, and I have to agree with him. Like, not even just Lukaku, the team as a whole, they fell to Lukaku a lot of the time. We had our chances to score today, which made it feel so weird in that second half. Like at 2-0, I was thinking, how the hell are we 2-0 down here? Because we seemingly played okay in the first half. We weren't the worst team in the first half. Yes, Spurs did come into it towards the end of the first half, but if anyone was going to get a goal, it was us. So then how does it fall apart like that? Do you feel like these players are still playing for the manager?
Everyone keeps saying this, innit? Like, about the manager and that. The manager can't make Lukaku score goals. Like if you're rounding the keeper and you're not scoring, you're struggling. You know what I'm saying? You're struggling with an open goal.
Is it
I
a
don't care if
confidence
it's
thing though? Because your manager can breed confidence into you. I'm just
I don't know. I
devil's
think it's like
advocate.
Lukaku rushed it. I don't understand. Like because he's on his weaker foot, and it's like, bro, just you're past the keeper. You might as well just touch it and just cut inside. Obviously, it's not as good a finish, innit? Like you never like people are gonna say, you should have just shot straight away. Like, but you can miss those. They've been missed before, innit? So to me, if that's me, like especially with what he's done recently, like I would have just took it further inside on my stronger foot and buried. But I don't care if Fergie came back. Fergie can't make Lukaku score that. Like, so as much as people want to say Mourinho, how does Mourinho impact our finishing? Because as bad as we've been defensively, I think if we score, I think it's a different game again against Brighton. If we score first, it's a different game. But we don't get our chances and bury. And today, I think it's just epitomised.
Eamon made a comment which he said Jose putting in Herrera was a message to the board. And that it kind of did feel like that, didn't it? Because it kind of felt like, yo, I'm having to put my man in centre half. Look at what you're making me do. And we initially thought it was Matic. Now, regardless of whether you agree with that, there does seem to be issues between our board and our manager. And that isn't helping at the moment. Now, how bizarre is it that this club have brought in a manager, they knew exactly how he was, and now they just haven't backed him? It's like they've hoodwinked him into taking this job.
Yeah, no, I don't think Mourinho would have took the job if he thought 3 years into like his plan, if you like, and his contract, that if we're not backing him with what he wants, I don't know if I don't know if he takes the job, because it's his reputation that's on the line. As much as people want him out, I can't foresee it like him. He doesn't want to fail. You know what I'm saying? He don't want to turn up and lose against Spurs at home. You know what I'm saying? I think he wants to be a success again. I don't think there isn't anywhere else for you to go. You know what I'm saying? What job is it for you to go? You're going to go PSG or something. I think he knows that, and I just think that I think the board have backed him to what they want to invest in it. Like,
the board ain't here to win trophies, are they? Ultimately, when you look across the city at Manchester City, when you even look at Liverpool, the way they signed this summer, they are trying to win the Premier League. Our owners aren't trying to win the Premier League.
No, I think they're trying.
Do you think they care if we get a trophy?
They're trying to do it on a budget, innit? Like, obviously, this is business to them, so they don't want to win the league, but they want to do it cheap, innit? Like, you can't be look at your competition, innit? Like I say, Liverpool have invested heavily. Like, to me, like, as much as we're looking for centre back, I don't want to start gassing up Liverpool players, but we should have just gone and sign Van Dijk, innit? Like, you should just go and sign Van Dijk in January, or at least put something in place to take him in the summer or something. Like, we're looking at all these defenders. And so obviously they don't want to invest that. And you look at the players we have, like Baye, I think he was like a rough diamond when we found him. I think he's probably slightly improved, but he's not kind of hit the heights we wanted. Lindelof, for me, he's not good enough. But you look at the price of what Liverpool had to pay for Van Dijk. We paid like 30 million for Lindelof. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're getting, and obviously your man's just all tried and tested in the Prem.
I found it interesting today, off topic from what you were talking about, Mourinho's reaction to the crowd. Now, when the crowd was full, there was a chant of Mourinho's Red Army. I got involved in that. A few others around me did, but it never really spread. At the end of the game, the fans that stayed behind, there wasn't a great number of them, but the fans that stayed behind were singing his name, were singing United, and he stood there and applauded them. And that kind of felt like a sign to the board or to his players that, yo, these fans are still backing me. Yeah. Like, you need to start backing me now. Yeah. And it kind of feels like at the moment that Jose's trying to get this either fans and Jose against everybody mentality, or the fans and the Jose against Woodward and the board. And I can see that, but ultimately the club aren't going to benefit from that, are they? That's not Mourinho's fault, by the way. He hasn't got a board that has backed him. But you guys know at home as well, I criticise Mourinho because I think the football should be better. And I still think that today. I still think you can do better with this team. But, and I do think like a lot of these players are suffering from a lack of confidence. But at the same time, if the board are going to bring him in, you know what manager you got. And you have to back him. You have to. Jose is somewhat a checkbook manager. In the sense that he's not going to develop all these young players and wait for 5 years. If you wanted a manager like that, you get Pochettino in. Yeah, and you got a manager like Mourinho, but you're not backing him like you should. So what the hell do you want him to do? That's
But
why I
think-
kind of feel sorry for him. You get me?
Yeah, but I think they're like, if that's what they do, if they're not investing in it, you like, people show you by their actions. They've not backed him in terms of money in the summer. He's talked about he wanted a defender or whatever. It looks like we do need one, and they ain't give him that. So again, like, that's where you get the opposition teams are gonna get chances in it. Gone are the days where I think any players, be it at Old Trafford or be it away from home, I don't think opposition teams like think we're not. I think they think we're gonna score. I think they know we're gonna get chances. It's just getting past De Gea, and I think today was just epitomised that. We was on top first half, should have scored, didn't. Spurs were on top second half, buried every single chance they had. You know what I'm saying? There was a chance for Moura to probably have a hat-trick. Like, we got a bit lucky at the end. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's Premiership level though. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's enough money about now where like teams will punish you. Kane punish man straight
How
away.
bad does it feel like we're August? You know, this is August.
Yeah,
bro.
I seen a tweet where someone said something about like how we've already lost the same amount as City lost last season. You know what I'm saying? If the way City have set the bar so high, you'd have to set the totals gone already. Really, like, if they're potentially looking to improve, like, we can't even be talking about the title at them. You know what I'm saying? At the minute, we need to start. We conceded 6 goals in 2 games. I mean, that says it all. We have to say we scored 1 goal against Brighton and Spurs on one. You know what I'm saying? It's just shocking. Like, but again, as much as people want to say Mourinho out, we need to start finishing. Like, we can't finish. I thought we looked a lot better when Sanchez came on for me. Obviously, he was missing against Brighton.
There's so many problems at this club right now, man. Fuck the Glazers.
Pogba's not. You know what I'm saying? Pogba's too inconsistent.
I don't think Pogba don't want to play for his manager. I think the manager's lost too many players.
We can say that, innit? But at the same time, Pogba's. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can say it's the manager's fault or whatever, but bro, you've not. To me, you ain't showed enough.
But this
you know
has happened elsewhere, though. That's you
can say that, but it's
Mourinho
like,
doesn't seem to have learned from any of his mistakes in the past.
Yeah, I know, but there's still like, if you're genuine class, innit? If you're a class football player, you're gonna show that regardless of who you're under, innit? So for me, it's like, if you're not, you don't look like today. You didn't look like Fred looked like the most expensive midfielder on the park to be out of them two. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and
he is really, really madly inconsistent, but I don't know. I think he just doesn't want to play for this manager anymore, and I've got a bad feeling that a few of the players are feeling like that.
That's all good. You play if it is true. I hope that's not true. But
I hope it's not true. I don't want that to be true. People seem to think I just want Jose out. Like, you know me, like, more than anyone watching this. Like, I'm not the kind of guy that just spitefully wants someone out.
Yeah.
And like, because we were speaking to someone earlier for a Vox Pops that we were doing, and she was like saying before the game, I hope we lose this game today. Like, I hope we lose the next 4 games till Jose's gone. And I was there like, bruv, why have you even come to the game? Like, you're in a United shirt, you got a United scarf. Like, why are you even here if you think like that? And like, I'm not that guy that goes to grounds thinking, I want Jose to lose today so I can say I'm right on YouTube. But nah, man, something that's not right at the moment. And I think our problems still continue when or if Jose leaves. But I do think he is part of the problem.
Everyone wants to turn it on Mourinho, but it's like, who's gonna turn Pogba into this world? But he's got all the potential there. He don't cut it. Like, he's not. You got other players in other teams who are not as fancy a name, who are more consistent than he is. Like, I thought he had a great game against Leicester. He's been awful in the past 2 games. Really should be dropped. You know what I'm saying? Like, not to boil it all on Pogba, but at the same time, look, we need to start looking past players who've got potential. Everyone bangs on about, look, you know, everyone's got hard on for Martial playing, etc. And it's like, bro, these men, like, I want them to succeed, yes, but these men ain't good enough. Like, I think to his
But today, Jose's dropped
out.
players, Bailly, Martial, Andreas Pereira. The team's played exactly the same. This is the thing,
If
like,
Lukaku scores a
the
different
team
game.
plays exactly the same, regardless of who the players are on the pitch. The team always looks the same to me.
Yeah, but again,
Everything is the same. It doesn't ever look like we work on anything.
If Lukaku takes his chances today, I think we're having a different conversation now. I think if Lukaku scores against Brighton early on, I think we have different conversations after that game, but we don't. You know what I'm saying? We've not, and that's the thing. I think if you got a manager under pressure,
But
you
I
need
partly
players to dig
think
you
we
out.
don't take those chances because the players ain't playing with confidence. Because it kind of stems
Players
from the
are
manager.
given-
From when your manager is saying in July, we ain't shit really. Like, it's like, bruv, what is that saying to everybody?
Yeah, no, but if you're round the goalkeeper, like Lukaku, you're 1-on-1 with Schmeichel, you miss, mate. You know what I'm saying?
But it's like the things that come before it.
You against Brighton, you've got Matt Square here. You should be bearing. You miss, mate. You know what I'm saying? Same today. You're round the keeper. You're missing open goals, bro. You know what I'm saying? You give Mourinho a break, innit? You know what I'm saying? Like, some of these players need to. Like, if he scores that, we can relieve some of the pressure. Like, just scrape out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not scrape out a win, but we can just get a victory and roll on. But no, you miss. We don't score the first half. They come out the blocks quicker second half and just bang. You know what I'm saying? Like, but everyone gets onto Fellaini. Fellaini was one of our better midfielders when he came on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's alright. It's bad to see, man. It's like the way I see it with United. Yeah, is like United. If you look at the investment, obviously coming from the top, it's like they're using Man United now like it's like we're the New York Yankees. You get me? Like,
we are basically, innit?
That's what I'm saying. Like, we're just this massive franchise where it's like, regardless of if we win or not, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not gonna overexert ourselves to be champions or whatever. Not gonna give the manager really what he needs to succeed. It's just we're just happy with being
because
this
our profit
massive...
margins are always gonna be okay.
Yeah, that's what they're doing, but it's like we're just a massive brand, innit? Like I say, we're like the New York Yankees, where we're rocking NY hats and that in this country. This is how Man United are kind of like that the rest of the world, innit? And that's what they really like. That's what's happening, innit? They're not.
But the case for me is then, if you're gonna do that, you get a different manager. You don't get Jose Mourinho. You get me. You get a manager that's gonna fit him.
But I think
the problems run so deep at Manchester United, and it's a fucking shame. We're gonna start wrapping this up now. Any final words, Dean? Go on. You were just gonna say.
I'll just say Mourinho finished second with that team last season. So as bad as people want to say he was second in the league last season. So to me, it's if you're ahead of this ship like Ed Woodward and that, like, of course you want Mourinho in charge because he can kind of just he's working wonders like Rafa's doing at flipping Newcastle. You get me? And it's like. But it's obviously they're just not giving him the dough. But he's got a contract, so he's not.
But at the same time, bro, I agree with what you're saying there. But at the same time, you have to beat Brighton and Tottenham at home. It has to be better.
But if Lukaku can't score, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like we had the chances to. We had the chances to beat Spurs today. We could have been a couple of goals up. We can't finish, man. Like, and that's football. Like, I don't want to keep banging about Lukaku, but that is literally just football. If you don't take your chances, next in the Prem, man's to take the chances. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's what's happened today. Harry Kane, bang. It's from when they scored to me. It was game over, and like we just looked shell shocked when they scored again, and then obviously it was we was kind of trying to go for it. They score another one. Like, I think it kind of flattered them the scoreline, but that's football, isn't it? Like, that's why you know what I'm saying. Like, that's why we love this game.
The fact we still got Smalling and Jones playing says all we need to know as well. But yeah, that's been Dean. Make sure you subscribe to Straight Up. The link is in the description below. Subscribe to AdamMcKola TV as well. Go head over to Full Time Devils. We're going to hit the road now. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to myself and Dean. We don't agree on everything, but we could still have a little chat about it. And there's a lot of questions to be asked about Manchester United at the moment because things aren't rosy and it's not just the manager's fault, which I reiterate again. I'm not one of these Jose out guys. I see faults in the manager, but I know it's not just him at the moment. And those Glazers are even worse. Anyway, I've been Adam. He's been Dean. Dean, final word?
So I'm trying to stay positive. Yeah, it's hard out here. You get me? Like.
It is hard out here. 2 games lost already. It feels like we're West Ham or something. Anyway, see you later.